Yeah, plenty of arm waving, wasn't there, from a Tottenham side by the end. It could very well have been more cards, but I think the thing that you have to look at probably in time is that Liverpool came through some adversity there, and as nervy as it was, these are the tests you have to overcome.
Exactly, and 3 points. And as James alluded to before, it's never easy playing against 10 or 9, because other things take place. The crowd got into the game as well. They've been complaining about every decision all game long. I think that was part of their game plan. But for me, the main thing is that we got the 3 points, which is crucial.
There a lot said about that, the sending off. It was interesting to see Jamie Carragher's take on it as well. If you didn't see that Monday night, he was making the point that he thinks that maybe he was looking to leave one on him there for a push and didn't really know where his feet were.
I said on the game, I thought it was a horrific tackle. For me, people say it was clumsy. I don't think it was anywhere near clumsy. He was nowhere near the ball. His foot reached out and it raked down the calf, the back of Virgil's leg. I thought it was a horrific challenge. And
nothing wrong with that goal, Sam?
Not for me, but I've seen things before where they give a push against because referees get swayed by the crowd, and they were certainly vociferous. They were complaining for every decision, which is that's their fight for survival, and that's going to happen. And then lo and behold, this guy comes up, all those panto villain, comes on the pitch and scores, creates havoc.
And obviously the action here at the end. If your captain does that at any level, you're fuming, aren't you?
Well, I've got to be honest with you, if anybody does that, I'm fuming. But I mean, he was guilty of it all day, and I think it was part of his. He had the captain's armband. He felt that he had to complain about everything, but you don't kick out at anybody like he did. And I think instead of helping Thomas Frank, I think he totally let the team down, and Thomas Frank.
I mean, obviously the togetherness of the coaching staff there at the end is important as well. Still the cards always. Flying around. The adversity and coming through these tests is obviously going to be key to go there. And I know they've had real problems, Tottenham, this season, but they will at some point turn the corner, and people will find it difficult to go there.
Well, they will, and it wasn't easy for Liverpool. It wasn't easy for us, as you see, with 9 men. And that's what we're saying about the nature of this league. But the main thing, as you so rightly said before, Peter, that we came away with the 3 points. But sadly, from that 3 points, we got a couple of injuries, which again was a big disappointment, because it could affect us moving forward.
Enjoying defending is a thing as well sometimes, and I know it was nervy, but the 2 centre-backs came through with a lot of credit at the end of that game.
Well, listen, you see that, I can say they delight in scoring goals. Defenders delight in keeping clean sheets, making block tackles, winning headers. So it was no surprise to me the joy you've seen in the fact that we've gone there and we've held out, if you like, under adverse circumstances in the last five minutes of added time, and you see the joy when they get a block and they prevent a shot in on goal. I say strikers love scoring goals, defenders love defending the goal.
What are those trips back like from London when you do get the win?
Wow. In
nervy circumstances.
Oh, mate, listen, any win. I know it's different times, but our trip back from any win was always eventful and always enjoyable, yeah.
They had a bit of a meal together from the sounds of things as well, and Christmas is difficult to fit in. We talked about the day off on Christmas Day, but it's important for the players to have that time together, sometimes to have quite honest conversations, isn't it, where you can sit down, have a meal together and say, really like this, but this could do with being a bit better.
And I think we had a free week, which Liverpool very rarely had that. I think we had one leading into Tottenham, another one leading into Wolves, and because of the nature of Liverpool involved in nearly all competitions, then what happens is you very rarely have a free week. So when you have a chance to sit down together, enjoy time together, and as you say, pick the bones of every win, every defeat, then for me that's better than any team meeting. It's a partial team meeting with relaxation involved as well.
Yeah. Let's look at the next set of games for Liverpool as well now. Sammy alluded to them a little bit earlier on. It's 2 tests at home, all difficult now in the Premier League, but you would look at those 2 and say that could get Liverpool just that added bit of momentum before 2 really tricky looking away.
Of course. If we can get the win, when we get the win against Wolves, and again, I have to be careful, because I want to mention before, as coaches, we always have to be cautious. People may think I'm being negative. I'm not. It's just the fact that you see there are difficulties in any game, but I think you'd hope to get 3 points against Wolves, again with the crowd behind us, because honestly, folks, we're going to need the crowd. We know full well how important our crowd are to us, and we've got a few problems in terms of injuries, and it could be with a bit of stress in certain areas regarding their backup. So I think we're going to need everybody, and the fans included as well in that. Against Wolves, let's get the 3 points, and then against Leeds, who normally their stronghold is Elland Road, but they'll come here. They've had, and they cock up. They have a few fans with them, as you know. They travel, so again that'll be another difficult game. But if we can get maximum points at home with our fans, and then we go into them other difficult games, as you say, Fulham away, and then Arsenal, then it'd be nice to go there with a game, with, if you like, maybe 6 wins going into the Fulham game and then the Arsenal game.
Leeds are proven, aren't they, that it can change quick. I mean, prior to us playing them last time, people were talking about Daniel Farke losing his job. They changed to a back 5, and now nobody can get near them in the last 3 or 4 games.
Well, that's exactly, and then you talk about momentum before, they're in a good vein of form, but as are we, in terms of results. So as I say to you, great to continue that against Wolves, take that into the Leeds game, but the important game for me is the Wolves game at this moment in time, Peter, because again we want to continue the momentum, keep the confidence going, keep the clean sheets going, keep the wins going, and go into Leeds full of confidence, hopefully.
We are waiting for Arne Slot, who is usually pretty prompt where his timekeeping is concerned, but he's due to start his press conference at 9 o'clock, and it all previews the Wolves game on Saturday the 27th. This is a little bit of a look behind the scenes for you as well, the press conference there where journalists from in and around Merseyside and beyond, and the camera set's already there to capture what Arne Slot will say in a moment. We were talking to James Pearce a few minutes ago, and he predicted that the mainstay of the questions will be about the injuries at the moment. Alexander Isak's injury, as mentioned there before, I mean, you couldn't get any worse luck than this, could you? Scoring a goal and being injured in one fell swoop. Exactly.
Great, 2 great assists from wirtz and from TK. But you knew right away, you could see him on the floor, writhing in pain. Instead of being able to celebrate a great goal, he's in a lot of pain there. And again, I mentioned before, Steve and I, when we were doing comms, you knew this was going to be more serious than what it was, because forwards, as we mentioned before, love to score goals, love to celebrate it. He couldn't, because he's in so much pain. And again, our fears sadly have been confirmed.
Just the foot planted there as he was following through as well.
You see the pain on his face. Yeah. It's a standing foot as well, which will go back to the sending off. It was the standing foot on Virgil which got the contact on, and that can be very, very serious. Thankfully Virgil was able to ride it. Unfortunately Isak wasn't, and look, as you mentioned before, he's had an operation on a broken fibula, is that correct, fibula?
Yeah, lower leg fracture. Yeah. Sometimes I know you're not a physio, Sam, but sometimes the breaks can be a little bit easier to solve than maybe ligament damage.
Well, as long as there's no collateral damage, as you say, if it's a clean break, then less of the evils. But if there's collateral damage with ligaments, that's an added problem. But hopefully it's been clean and sorted. For me, let me say, the good thing is that apparently he's had surgery right away. Hopefully to avoid any complications. From what we can gather, it was the clean break. So hopefully, they've set it right, put it back, and hopefully then the recovery time will be less, because less complications. They haven't mentioned any complications as regards collateral damage with ligaments or what have you. So hopefully over this, a clean break and they put it right. But again, it's just still so very, very sad for the player and for the club.
Just when he was getting into that run of form. Conor Bradley as well, Sam, that there was concern over him going off at half time, whether they might have made that change anyway with Tottenham being down to 10 men, but he just can't seem to get that momentum going of games.
No, similar to Joe, isn't it? Joe Gomez, and it's in that right back position, where we've had similar problems, Frimpong. There seems to be a bit of contact there, which that would have been more than anything, that's when he went down. Again, it was a strange one that happened, and he's holding the back of his leg, but it seemed to come from contact, as you see here.
Yeah, it's an awkward looking one.
Into there, see? Yeah. Yeah, so it is a worry, and again, it'll be interesting to see the updates on it, because I said Conor's a fantastic player for us, and we want him to get sustained games, to get that real base of fitness, and fitness levels that the Premier League demand.
Being creative with his team selection is something he's had to get used to, Arne Slot, as well, and he will have to be very creative, you imagine, over this period of games we were just looking at.
Yeah, so we'll win when we have our
Sammy's tried to pick his team, by the way, which we'll see later.
Again, the team that I pick is not the one that I'd pick, but the one I think that he'll pick. But you're right, I think at the end of the day, injuries are a part and parcel of football, which is why you have big squads. But it's amazing when you have big squads how quickly that can be depleted,